Hello, this is Eric from Go2mobi. Just doing a short video to show you how to get up and running on the Go2mobi self-serve mobile advertising platform. Go2mobi is the most granular RTB demand-side platform that's available to media buyers and agencies at the moment. It is, however, in beta at the moment, so we thank you for your patience and thank you for working with us on this. We're eager to hear your feedback. We know there are a number of areas that need to be smoothed out, and we'll address them briefly in this video. But to get started, to get some traffic up and running, you want to select New. Now you're going to name your campaign. You want to name it with descriptive enough words so that you'll be able to recognize basic settings around it. So this is a Bad Piggies campaign. Going to be targeted at US and Canada. It's an iOS app, so we'll let ourselves know that. And we're going to do it on the Smoto RTB network. So for now, we're going to throw, you're going to be able to put your link in here, but we're going to just throw a placeholder in. I'm going to select from the available RTB networks. This one's, as I said, we're going to do Smoto. We're going to do $100 as our test budget for this campaign. Next, you want to select your countries. Being Canadian, we'll pick Canada, and we'll pick United States. Great, so now we have our campaign basically set up. Here's where we want to go into more advanced settings here. There's information here about how to add variables so that you can pass details about the users who are clicking and installing your ads back to your tracking system. There's also ways to set up conversion tracking. We'll do further videos about those in the future. So to start with, we want to pick a bid. Now in RTB, you want to bid on the higher end of things because you want to be able to get a broad cross section of all the available inventory. So I'm actually not going to select a bid here because I'm going to enable the auto bidder. This is something that will truly allow you to test multiple sites and parameters and get a true cross-section of the inventory available. So this auto bidding function will override the bid CPM. It will not override your daily budget, which is set at $100. Another great feature that Go2mobi offers is the per placement cap. This allows you to restrict the amount that you're going to spend on each placement. Most ad networks have a handful of sites that eat up a lot of your inventory. We call those burners. And you don't need to burn 80% of your budget on 5 sites necessarily. It'll prevent you from getting a full taste of what the inventory actually will do for you. So we're going to set a $10 per placement cap. We're the only RTB network that allows you to do that. You can now select your frequency cap if you like. This means the amount of times that the ads will be shown to each user. And then there's session depth data. These are advanced features that we'll go into more depth later. The status here, we're going to keep it as pause for now because we want to go down and set up the other campaigns. In our system right now, you have to save each section, so make sure you do that. So this first section now is saved. It tells us that the campaign was updated there. We can go through here. We can see that we've already saved our country, so that save button is grayed out. So those are the countries we want. Now we go on to carriers. This is a section that we know we have to improve a little bit. Right now we have a huge section of carriers that are available here. You can of course go in and find your old favorites, your T-Mobiles, you know, your Bell if you're in Canada. All of these different carriers are in there. For now, we're going to keep it broad because we want to do a test campaign. So we're not going to add any carriers to either the whitelist or the blacklist. If there's specific carriers you know you don't want, you can certainly add them to the blacklist. So say you want to, you know, Cricket, for instance, in the United States is not a carrier you want, boom, add it to the blacklist. There it is. You will not advertise on that platform. But because I don't know that Cricket isn't going to work for me, I'm going to delete that. I want to go ahead and test all the inventory. Same goes for the placements here. There's you know, thousands of placements you can choose from here. There's some that are unknown. We understand that we need to group those under unknown rather than showing question marks there. We just basically, you can search by, so for instance, say you've got an app that's targeted at women. Maybe you want to not to be stereotypical, but maybe they like Barbies and flowers. So maybe you want to advertise on flowers. There's a lot of flexibility there. And if you want to add these, you just add them to the whitelist. And if you don't want them, you add them to the blacklist. Again, because this is a test campaign, I want to keep it as broad as possible. I'm not going to add any to the whitelist or blacklist. Now, as I mentioned, this is an iOS campaign. So we're going to select iOS here, and we're going to add that to the whitelist. So that means that we're only going to advertise on iOS devices. Now I want to be able to go in, and there's certain things that I know I don't want for this. For instance, I know I don't want the iPhone simulator. That's probably something that we're going to need to take out. I'm going to add that to the blacklist. Now I'm also don't want iPhone Touch. A lot of children use iPhone Touch, and my advertiser has said that they don't want that. So I'm gonna get rid of iPhone Touch, and then I'm gonna add that to the blacklist. So now, as you can see on the whitelist, I have iOS. On the blacklist, I have the 2 styles of devices that I don't want. Everything else is fair game. So go ahead and save that. Now, one of the final steps to get traffic up and running is to choose a creative. So I have this awesome Bad Piggies seasonal GIF here. And that's super easy to upload. It has to go through an approval process, which is now pending. And our team will go over and make sure that you're not being misleading or doing anything that could get us in trouble with the RTB exchanges. This one is obviously fine. So that approval is pending. Here, I'm going to go ahead and save those creatives. So that has been updated. These rules and override sections are for a more advanced feature later. These will show you all the rules, and the RTB bidding changes that you make will show up here, so you'll be able to keep track of them in one spot. So now I'm basically going to scroll back up here. I have all my settings that I want correct. I've enabled the auto bidder. I've saved every section. It's a very general campaign to start, but that's the idea, so that I can optimize in the future. And so now I'm going to set this campaign from paused to active and save it once again. Once it's done there, you can actually see that this campaign has shown up in my campaign settings. I've set it to active, which is great. I've got my frequency cap of 3, and the status is set to pending. The last thing to do in this scenario is to update my funding. Right now I have $0 in the account. I would simply have to click on there, enter a card number and the details, and submit some funds to get campaigns running. Once those funds are in there and once the creatives are approved, you'll be up and running on the Go2mobi RTB exchange, the most granular RTB DSP in the business. Thanks very much.